Bitcoin stuck in the mud at 29,000. So far, Bitcoin at 29,000 is acting a lot like it was at Bitcoin at 30,000. These two purple horizontal lines, 30,000 on top, 29,000 on bottom. So what I want to compare this to would be like, you ever seen those clips of like a party on an old wood deck and the deck gives way, people dancing and bouncing up and down on it, right? And it gives way. That's kind of where we're at here. Even more so at 29, at 30,000, it was jumping way up to like, 31,500 frequently, and going up 1,500. At 29,000, it's only spiked once at 1,000. And that was right after I made my last video. Here, let's zoom in a little so you can see what I'm talking about. Right here at this point, came up, hit 30,000 exactly, and then dove right back down to 29 and kind of came up a few $100. And just for like the last, I'm sure if you've been paying attention, the last 24, 36 hours, it's basically just stuck right on 29. But like it was up here at 30,000 on this purple line, it kept running into it, right? Kept bouncing up and down on it. Boom, 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 boom. And the more times it does that, the more likely it is for it to finally break. And that's kind of what's going on now, right? This is kind of a bunch of people on an old wood deck hopping up and down, jumping and partying, right? It's probably going to give away. Now, it doesn't have to. It could. What I'm making this video for is to tell you this is probably going to be news dependent. If some kind of really good news that they can hype comes out, then Bitcoin will probably blast back up. If bad news, like that Binance Department of Justice is looking to charge Binance with some stuff on top of the SEC and other organization with CFTC, something or other. So there's definitely probably something going on there. They wouldn't be doing that if there wasn't something that they were doing wrong, right? So that could be bad news. In my last video, I talked about it's going to take some good news. I don't know what the good news is going to be, but like Elon Musk could come out and say Tesla's going to take Bitcoin again, right? And Bitcoin will probably blast right up to like 32,378, this yellow line, or maybe higher. I'm going to go out to the daily chart here and show you this channel. I've drawn in a newer channel since my last video. What I want to focus on is this big blue ascending one here going up on the daily chart, the one I talked about last video. It's got like a $6,300 target, and it's bearish, like this big ascending one. The target for that is a breakdown of a little over $6,000. But since then, I've drawn in this ascending one, which is bullish. It should have a bullish breakout. It doesn't have to, but it's about a $1,500 target in this little one here going down. And so this is getting interesting. In my last video, I talked about when this might break out, and I was on the hourly chart, and I gave kind of a bad estimate. But on the daily chart here, you can see if you take the, let's zoom in a little. If you take, let me extend this a little bit further so you can see right about there's good. If we stay stuck at 29,000, we probably won't, but if it stays stuck at 29,000, where does that meet the bottom of that big blue channel? And that's right here. There's an intersection here. Boom. And let's get a date on that. That, folks, is September 7th. So almost exactly a month from as I make this video. Now, if it did break out of this big blue channel, it could be a major breakdown. You could be talking about it coming back down and maybe bouncing off 20,000, right, 22,000 area. It doesn't have to go that low, but I think this is going to be news dependent. I guess we'll just make that the theme of this video. If good news comes out, right, you could be looking at Bitcoin doing whatever it's going to do here and bumping out of this for about a $1,500 pump. So, you know, if it broke out in the next couple of weeks or so, say from 29,300, you'd be talking about 30,000. Got to deal with my cat. Sorry, kitty cat. From I lost my train of thought. 29, about 30,800 or so. You know, you'd be talking about coming back up here to this level or so. Would be the target if that little ascending channel came true. So maybe that happens first, right? I don't know for sure. maybe it breaks out and comes up and bounces off 30 or whatever again, and then it comes down. But it's interesting. There could be a little break up before it comes down. But I just want to show that if we just keep kind of going sideways, if Bitcoin kind of goes sideways between 29 and 30 for a while, like if it doesn't break that support, and it doesn't, if it doesn't break the resistance up here, and it just kind of stays here, maybe comes a little below, and does this or whatever it's going to do, at 29,000, is September 7th. First, second week of September would be about as far as it could possibly go at this level until it runs into the bottom of that channel. And let's reset the chart. I just want to give you something to think about here. What would a $6,000 breakdown look like from 29,000? It would go to about right about here, this level here. Boom. That ballpark. And that actually fits in, if you've been watching my videos, this grand macro picture here, on the far left here, this peak is the all-time high of Bitcoin coming down. And I've always been saying this should be a sucker's rally, right? This should be a sucker's rally. Bitcoin comes down, and it should be a sucker's rally here, right? And it comes back down. That's just the way it should probably play out. But the hype squad is firmly entrenched, and they've kind of not allowed that to happen. It's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. But I still think that's probably good. Maybe it doesn't come all the way down to 20. But it's just news dependent now more than ever, right? Really good news, Bitcoin will pump. Really bad news, Bitcoin could dump. And we could be looking at 20. But the thing is here's the Bitcoin halving clock. 255 days tentatively scheduled. This will change a little bit, but April 17th, 2024 is what we're looking at. And this is going fast. I remember making videos, it seemed like recently, where it was over 400 days away. So this is going fast. 150 days away. That's 150 days from then. Another 250 days. That's coming quick. And then I keep an eye on this Bitcoin. I just type in Bitcoin news to Google here. And here's an interesting one. Machine learning algorithm sets price into August 2023. It says 28,000. And I thought that was kind of interesting because it kind of fits in with my big channel here, right? 28,000 would be in a few weeks. It would break out the bottom of that blue channel. And there's some interesting stories here. Here's one that says Bitcoin miners need Bitcoin price to be over $98,000 by the halving. That, folks, I don't think is anywhere. I don't think that's realistic at all. 98,000. They're talking about almost $100,000 Bitcoin in the next 250 days. That's kind of goofy. They could just be making titles for clicks, I suppose. But news dependent. I'm keeping an eye on the news. The ones I'm really looking for are the CZ, the Binance, what they were doing, how bad it was, what they were doing, if they were doing something bad. And it always seems to me, watching this for a few years now, it always seems to me that there's way too much Bitcoin being traded than there are real Bitcoin, right? And that's kind of what the Binance situation is. I haven't looked into it a lot, but it's like derivative stuff. They were doing something derivatives related is where they're getting sued. And not the Department of Justice. They're the real deal, right? If they get involved, it could be bad. And so we can see where the bad news could come from. But it's always kind of seemed to me like, Bitcoin's got such a small supply and people are holding. It's just always kind of seemed to me like there's way too much Bitcoin being traded, like like massive amounts of leverage. Like I could take $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and use 10x leverage, right? And I'm trading $10,000 Bitcoin, and people around the world are doing the same thing. It just seems to me like there's not really that much Bitcoin out there. Like there's way more Bitcoin being traded, and I haven't looked into it or nothing, but it just feels like that, right? And anyways, we'll figure out what's going on here pretty quick. Good news up, bad news down, and this is, I've always kind of thought this is a sucker's rally. I've been saying it since 20,000, so I'm kind of looking like a sucker saying it. And I said around 20,000. At 26, I tried to call a top. And about 30, I tried to call a top, and then 31, and I'm pretty sure 31,800 is going to be the top for probably into winter time, and that could change though. Like I say, Elon Musk at some point is bound, folks. He's bound to get back involved, right? Like you can just see that coming, right? Elon Musk is bound to get back involved with Bitcoin and crypto, and that'll probably start with Tesla's accepting Bitcoin again, and blah blah yada yada yada. So that's the danger, right? All analytics, I could give really good analysis, and a news story could come out and just blow that analysis out of the water. So be careful of that right now, right? Because we're just going sideways. It's just kind of stuck in the mud at 29,000. So watch out for news that could really jerk it. April 17th, 2024. I do expect the price of Bitcoin to go up pretty soon. I am thinking, I'm still holding to my macro deal that this should be coming down a little bit. Just healthy, just as a healthy market, it should come down a little bit. But shortly after that, I am looking for Bitcoin to begin the real deal pump, right? The real deal, the real bull market will probably be starting shortly. Have a good night, good day, good morning, wherever it is. Thanks for watching.